Hello guys, I'm back. Today I'm here to answer one question that I received on my LinkedIn. And the question is, there are various types of handle packing like hash rings, saddles, power rings. All these packings have their own efficiency graphs given by the manufacturer. When you are looking for handle packing, if you go to SUSE website or Koch website, you find the catalogs, and in the catalogs you have the efficiency of this handle packing. But these graphs are drawn for a particular column condition and on which the experiments have been performed by the manufacturer. So how can we use these efficiency charts for any conditions for gas absorption? I did some research, and after taking a look in some dozen papers, to go straight to the point, you cannot you cannot use the same graph for different conditions, or to be more precise, you will not have the same results for different conditions. For instance, I have here a catalog from Koch where the condition for this ring here, for instance, is a liquid concentration 4% of NaOH or caustic soda, conversion to carbonate in inlet gas concentration 1% CO2. So if I get the conditions in this graphic efficiency graph and use in other conditions in my process simulation, for instance, or for calculations, I will not get necessarily the same results that I have from the supplier. And my consideration here, I have three considerations here. First one, in the point of view of a chemical process engineer practice. I'm not a researcher, so I will take into account that I need to do a job, I need to do plan design, and I need to consider the power ring efficiency to complete my job. If I have enough time to look for papers, reference, bibliography, first thing first that I will do is look for the bibliography and verify if there are some kind of relationship that I can apply. There are many studies related to that, and the theory related to handle packet is, let's say, it's not easy to understand. There are a lot of calculations with many variables that can be used that must be used to do the calculations for the KGA, for instance, and in the end, there is no consensus that it's possible that these correlations are reliable or not. So based on that, if finishing this part of the job, verifying the bibliography related to that, I go to the second point. How critical is this information for me? I'm doing just preliminary calculations, or I am doing the design calculations, design for buying the equipment. Taking into account that I'm doing just preliminary calculations for feasibility study, for instance, I would assume, I would identify one supplier that has the conditions near for my process simulation or for my process conditions, and based on that, assume the results that are there. If when you get the process, the Eisenhower, for instance, and you choose a package column there, the Eisenhower uses correlations based on the size and type of handle packing that we don't know the source and what is the correlations used. So it's not I cannot 100% guarantee that fits with experimental data, because the same column with different power rings and with different size of power rings, I can use infinite inlet conditions for my process simulation, and the Eisenhower will give one result for me. So in this case, I would just use the same information that is in the catalog of the supplier for preliminary conditions, for preliminary calculations, and based on that, do the evaluations that I must do. And the final consideration here is that when you are doing plan design, you must talk with the suppliers. So if you don't have enough information to perform the calculation that you need to issue documentation for design purpose, for purchase of the equipment, you must talk with the supplier. And based on that, it's important because first thing first, when you buy the structure, the handle package, you will ask for a guarantee for the supplier. So the supplier is responsible for the performance of the handle packing since you observe the conditions informed to them. So based on that, I would talk with the supplier. Some of them, like Koch, has specific process simulation software or selection software that they share with the customers or clients in order that let easier our life to verify the conditions, what happens with the conditions in the column. So summarizing here what I would like to tell you. For who asked me about this question, and also for you that is watching this video up to this point. When we are performing process simulation calculations, heating material balance calculations, you need to verify what is the level of accuracy that you need to your job. If we are talking about issuing documentation for design, we need to talk with the vendors. Like if I am going to buy a compressor and I need to estimate and I need to define the power consumption of the plant. So I need to get the information from the vendor. I will not use generic information to report to the manager, to report to the company what will be the power consumption. If I am at the early stage of my job, I can use standards values available in the Aspen HICs, for instance, or standard values available in the literature. When we are talking about purchasing equipment, I will talk with the vendor. So guys, this is it. I hope you like it, and I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye bye.